Hello, welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Shadow Salamence for the Open Master League. This Pokemon got access to the new move Fly, which is going to give this thing definitely more play in any kind of league, because now you don't only have nukes, now you have also kinda a bait move. But Fly is honestly not really a bait move either, it is just a very hard-hitting stab move for this Pokemon, which you're going to be able to get already after 15 turns, aka 5 fast moves of Dragon Tail. Anyway, we're going to have like a classic line here of, Kyogre double dragon kinda. The thing is, I guess you would play it a little bit differently normally. Like usually you would use Kyogre together with the Dialga plus a Lugia, like Lugia kinda being a pseudo dragon with the Dragon Tail as a fast move, Dialga in the back and the Kyogre in the lead, or flipping it around with Dialga in the lead and Kyogre in the back. But yeah, we're trying out here the Salamence currently in this kind of team scenario, and of course it will be a little bit trickier for this kind of team to deal with a lead of Dialga, but look at the damage output against a Palkia. Like honestly, like the damage output is so insane from this thing. We won't be able to even go for that Fly to try to get the shield from the opponent here, which we will be able to do, but look at the damage output. We can just Dragon Tail them down, knock out the Palkia, and in comes the Mamoswine, which is gonna go down to like 2 more fast moves here. By the way, thanks again to everybody who battled me. I am not going to be able to mostly make a video later on today when the league drops, which I usually going to be able to do, but yeah, I'm kind of moving, and it's going to be a little bit tricky for the next few weeks till a month or something, but yeah, we're gonna see how it's all gonna go. Anyway, we're going to have here a Lugia swapping in against us, where we can retaliate with our Dialga. Dialga is going to have a great matchup here, definitely a better matchup than the other Dialga before, like the normal Dialga form basically, because here we can actually go for that Roar of Time, which is a Draco Meteor without any drawbacks, and we're also going to have a little bit more bulk, which is going to be kind of nice. Here we're going to see the Aeroblast going to connect, and so we can only reach one more Iron Head, which the opponent most likely going to know here as well. This is going to go through. We are kind of forced to go into the Salamence, and I might even be forced to use a shield here. The thing is, I should be able to get some energy, get a fly off maybe against the opponent's Pokemon what they have in the back, but no, it is going to be that Dialga in the back, and so we can go for that Outrage. Outrage is going to, let's see, get shielded sadly, and so this game is kind of over. We can try to go for an Origin Pulse, but Dialga itself is kind of a little bit of a toughie for this team. I mean, I don't know what you really want to change in order to help with that scenario, to be fair. You could go for just a fairy type in the lead then, but I was not really in the mood for that, so yeah, let's just move on to the next opponent. We are going to be able to take a look now at a horrible matchup for our lead. The worst possible matchup basically, with Palkia against the Kyogre. They are swapping out into a Heatran, allowing us to go for the Roar of Time here, which is going to be resisted, but it does not look like it's resisted. Look at the damage output here. Honestly, gonna put them down into the red health, and so we can force alignment. And of course, with the team that we have and with the Pokemon that we have on the lead, alignment is kinda key, and so we are forced to go ahead and use a shield now, which is totally fine. But even if they want to go back into the Palkia, at this point we got so much energy already that we should be able to reach a Roar of Time without a doubt, and so we should be able to get that shield back as well. Let's see what's coming in here. It is going to be a Ho-Oh. Totally fine for me. Roar of Time coming through is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent back, and so we were able to align ourselves, which is kind of funny because like usually Heatran is supposed to beat Dialga, but apparently that does not always happen. Here they want to go ahead and go for the Brave Bird, and now decide to swap out, and yeah, I feel like they lag a little bit. It is what it is. We're gonna see what they have in the back anyway, which is going to be the Pokemon that we saw anyway already, which is going to be the Palkia. I'm fairly certain looking at what we saw before, and especially with the damage that we had here. Also, if they didn't have the lag, we still would have been able to win this battle, just because we had basically a perfect alignment. But yeah, still kind of unfortunate, but still, let's move on to the next opponent. Here we're going to see the same matchup again. We're going to have the worst possible lead again, which is of course lovely. We swap out and we're gonna get out the Dialga, which is quite important. They even best buddied their Dialga actually for this video, which is kinda hilarious, so yeah, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage there, but doesn't really matter, we will find out. We're going to be able to take one Iron Head, and we can go for our own Iron Head next, which is going to be able to most likely get the shit from the opponent. it does not, but we're gonna get to another one, which either going to allow us to align ourselves, which is going to be quite important, or gives us a shield here, and we're going to be able to align ourselves. And this is going to be really, really good, because, yeah, Palkia against our Salamence, as we saw before, we do quite a lot of damage. We do more damage than they do against us, which is hilarious, and they have a golden go in the bag, and this is going to be lovely for that Kyogre. I decided to use a shield here early on, thinking that it might be something like a Focus Blast, but it was just the Shadow Ball, which is totally fine. We can go for that Surf. Surf is going to be able to get them quite low, or get the shield. Both are going to be totally okay here, and we're gonna get them low in terms of their health already just with the Fast Move alone, which is gonna put them also into range where I could just Dragon Tail them down if they would knock me out in time, but they can't. And so I'm gonna try to go ahead and go for that Origin Pulse, but they go for their own Charge Move in time. I'm going to let the move go through just to be safe here, and now I should be able to just Dragon Tail them down, and I can, as the opponent decides to go for a charge move. Maybe they would have been able to actually have a CMP tie there, basically a double KO there at the same time, but they decided to go against it, and so we can move on to the next opponent. Here we're going to have a Zarude in the lead. Zarude also a Pokemon that I built before. I might actually take a look at this Pokemon again as well. Zarude is going to be quite an interesting Pokemon. Especially now after the Go Fest in Madrid, I feel like it's going to be an interesting Pokemon, because like one of them that can actually beat quite easily at least the like new Necrozma forms, because you have a Dark type there, and Dark types are really good against them. So Zarude might actually have a little bit more play even now in this season of the Go Battle League. Anyway, we're going to not be able to go for that another Roar of Time, but do the opponent know about this being not a Roar of Time? They do not know about it, and so we're going to be actually in a decent spot. I can go back into my Kyogre, and knowing that the opponent has that Zarude here, I'm going to let the move go through. I don't really care too much about it. Go for your Draco Meteor. They decide to do exactly this, and now it's down to Salamence to win this battle for us. We get some energy, which is great. They decide to go back into the Zarude. I can overfarm by one, go for the Fly. Fly easily gonna get the knockout. Like, it's a Shadow Stab Fly against the Grass type. Goodbye there. And in the back, it's going to be a Meloetta, which is quite mad. They built actually 2 of the mythical Pokemon already, which I guess I also did already as well, but like one of them is a Shaman, so I cannot really talk too much about that one. Like, it was a Hundo Shaman, okay? I feel like it's kind of fine. But yeah, we're gonna see the Outrage coming through, and we can move on to the next opponent. This was actually the first battle that I did with this team, and of course we're going to encounter the worst possible Pokemon, and oh, look at this, Azurnius, not way better for us either, is it? But at least we can still try to let the move go through. It's going to be the Moonblast, it's fine, and I don't want to throw. I really want to hope that they go for the close combat now, which they do. This is going to be great for us, because like this, we can now actually knock them out with an Iron Head, and this was not the case before. Like, Iron Head would have never been able to knock them out before. Now we can actually at least get alignment here, which in like a normal case would be really good for us. But not in this one, because we're going to have a Salamence in the back. But they swap out. They swap out into their Mewtwo, allowing me to go for a Fly. Maybe there's still a chance. Like, there might be still a chance. Let's find out here. Side Strike coming through. I can overfarm again. Go up to basically, yeah, close to another Fly here. Fly is going to now camp through. Most likely going to get the shield from the opponent. And it does. And so they decide to go for the Side Strike. We're definitely going to go down. Like, we are paper thin with our defense. And so it's all down to Kyogre. They're still gonna get to another Side Strike here, which I don't really care too much anyway about, because like one Roar of Time is most likely going to be enough to knock me out anyway. And so Side Strike is coming through. Can we still go for an Origin Pulse? I'm going to have to try to catch a move here in order to have a chance of winning this battle. Yeah, that worked out quite well, right? So yeah, we will never know how much this would do. Honestly, it will never be enough anyway. So good game to the opponent. Nothing that I can do there. Just have a little bit of a hole there in our team with the Dialga. Great, isn't it? It is just lovely. But the opponent stays in here, which is actually quite lovely for me, because now I can align myself a little bit better, because even if you're going to be able to, like, maybe, like, lose a shield or whatever, and the opponent still keeps their Dialga around, like, you got them already low. Like, now they cannot range for Waterfall plus Surf, they cannot range for Dragon Tail down. Dialga's not an issue anymore. I decided to let the move go through even here, trying to go for an Iron Head, and I can't even reach that Iron Head in time. And so, going from the worst possible lead to actually a very favorable position now, because they can only get to their own Iron Head now. They cannot get to a Roar of Time, and so I can let the move go through. We have a shield advantage now, and we just have to hope there's something in the back that we can deal with. Zygarde goes up against our Salamence, but the opponent makes a crucial mistake here by swapping in the Mewtwo. And this is going to be great, because now we can just go for the full farm down, and Mewtwo is gone, and they don't even get to a charge move. Speaking of getting to a charge move, look at this, we can still get to another Fly, force a shield from the opponent, and now it's down to our Kyogre to go for an Origin Pulse. We know already at this point, like, this game is over. Like, I can still kind of flex on the opponent maybe a little bit by going for a no-shield flex here. How about this? Crunch coming through. Going to be not really a strong move to go up against our Kyogre, and so we can just knock them out. The opponent knew at this point, this game is over. 2-shield flex, and we can move on to the next opponent. Oh, it's not a Dialga, it's a Florges, which is already something that's definitely beneficial to us. Maybe I was not counting correctly here. But no, it's 7 fast moves. 7 times 9 is 63. Moonblast is 60. So, like, yeah, I think it's 60. So, like, I think the opponent would have been able to go for a Moonblast there. But I just decided to use a shield and it was a disarming voice, which is horrible for me. But at least we're going to have a Fairy type here against our lead, which is kind of great. Because I don't want to have it against my Pokemon in the back. Here, we're going to still get a Surf off. Surf is going to be great as well. This is going to be able to connect, knock them out. We can swap out here, which was a huge mistake, which you're gonna see here as well. They're going to have a Melmetal. I sure stayed in, like there was no reason for me to swap out here. It was literally zero reason towards that. And it gets even worse, and there is also no reason for me to go for a shield here. Double Iron Bash, that is lovely. Now they can go for a double superpower. It doesn't knock me out. I think they have to go for 3 superpowers. Maybe not, actually. Maybe I was wrong, I think it actually does knock me out. But at least I can still go for the Roar of Time, get the shield. They should be kind of debuffed now, they might want to swap out afterwards, but this was kind of misplayed by me. Like, it definitely kind of was misplayed. And great play, maybe if they undercharged, I think it was actually not an undercharge, I think it's just like how it goes. This is going to be kind of an awkward one for us. The opponent's going to be very debuffed at this point, so I try to go for a cheeky swap here, but they have a hard counter on the back here for Salamence. Still, I feel like if I just didn't swap out in the beginning, I would have been fine. That was just my own mistake, so good game to the opponent. Well played, like I didn't play this well, and let's move on to the final battle of today. So, let's take a look at this one. For sure, Salamence is a fun Pokemon to use now. Like, Salamence is definitely a fun Pokemon to use. It is not overpowered at all. It is not going to be meta at all, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Like, honestly, if you have a Shadow Salamence or something like this, definitely give it a try. Like, it is a fun Pokemon to run. The issue is just they are going to be better Dragon-type Pokemon all the time anyway. Like, the typing itself, yeah, you have, like, Dragonite, which is still kind of usable, but how often do you see a Dragonite in the open Master League? Like, you see it, of course, all the time in Master Premier, but basically everything is really around, like, legendary Pokemon nowadays in the Master League, and so I doubt that we're gonna ever see, like, something like the Salamence being top-tier meta. Unless we're gonna give, like, Breaking Swipe to this Pokemon, there's nothing going to happen to it. What's, like, this thing? And I think it's still fine. Like, I think it's kind of okay. Like, not every Pokemon has to be great, but I really enjoy that they at least gave this Pokemon Fly to be kind of at least half viable. Also, for Master League Premier Cup, it's going to be funny to take a look at this Pokemon again, so definitely stay tuned for a showcase for this Pokemon as well for then. That's why I also kind of used all my Stardust on the new Shadow variant of Salamence with Fly. But here, this is going to be quite an easy game for us to win. They're going to go for the Sancia Storm. We can swap out, farm them down. In the back, it's going to be that Giratina. And look at the Dragon Tail damage. Like, the damage output of this thing is just insane. Like, I have not seen any damage that's, like, close to that before. So, very cool Pokemon to run. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Definitely a cool Pokemon to build if you want to. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.